Hello mates, welcome to Full Stack Java Developer. I am Kiran Jadhav here. In this session, I will teach you here Spring Boot with microservices. See, what is microservice? Microservice it means two or more Spring Boot module, they will communicate with each other. Then in this session, we have available department service and employee service. Then the services goes to communicate with each other. Service registry we are using here for as a Eureka server, and for service communication we are using here RestTemplate, and API gateway it is a single entry point we have available. End user hitting the request comes on API gateway, and API gateway traversing this request to particular services. And we are going to use here Saga design pattern. It means database per service. You can simply consider service per DB. Then see, first I will give you some theory context and then we'll start with the implementation. Microservices it means two or more Spring Boot module, they will communicate with each other. And services wise, we are going to create here department service. This will be like part of 9191 port number. Employee service, it will be work on 9192 port number. Service registry, the default port we are using here 8761. And the API gateway, I am just giving here current year as 2025. The port number you can change as per your business requirement. And the service communication, we are using here RestTemplate. But upcoming sessions, I will teach you here Fin client as well. But today we'll go with the RestTemplate in this session. And design patterns, we are going to follow here Saga design patterns, that's called service per DB. And circuit breaker also we are going to follow here. There are three states available: close, open and half open. I will explain you once we'll start with the implementation. Then instead of only theory parts, we'll start with the implementation. And the architecture wise, you can simply consider client, it means end user hitting the request, and this request comes on API gateway, and API gateway traversing this request to particular services. And there will be number of services available. If you are going to check e-commerce application, there will be available 100 plus services, right? Yes, like such a way communications happens in microservices. Now we'll start with the implementation part. Then simply come up with the Chrome browser, type the Spring Initializer. Here we are creating the Spring Boot application. Then simply select the project as Maven, the language as Java, and Spring Boot latest version we are using here. The package I am giving here base package as com.fullstack, and the artifact means our application name I am giving here DepartmentService. Then simply refactor the base package, packaging as jar, Java version 17 we are using here. Add dependencies, we are using DevTool for live reload the application. Next, Lombok for reduce the boilerplate code. We are using here Spring Wave itself inbuilt Tomcat server, and it will help us to create the REST API. Next, we are using data JPA for persistence layer. Next, database we are going to use here MySQL. Now, if you want to add any validations, simply add the validation dependency as well. Next, we are using here Eureka Discovery client. And now simply click on generate. See, within a minute production ready application will be available there. See one screen. Now we'll come up with the next service. I am giving the service name as EmployeeService. Yes, again simply refactor the base package here. Yeah, this is our employee service we are going to consider. Artifact as EmployeeService. Refactor the base package. Then the base package is com.fullstack here. Again simply click on generate. Do all dependency available there. Simply click on generate. Perfect. Within minute production ready application will be available there, right? Yes. Now next service we are going to create here. This is base package as com.fullstack. The service name as ServiceRegistry. This is Eureka server we are going to create. Then refactor the base package. Now adding dependencies. First I am adding here Spring Wave, and the second dependency I am adding here Eureka server. Simply click on generate. Now coming to next we are going to create here API gateway. The base package I am giving com.fullstack. Artifact it means our application name I am giving here, this is API gateway. Now refactor the base package, and again adding dependencies here. We are using first dependency as Spring Wave. Next we are using here API gateway. Next we are adding, this is actuator. Next we are just going to add dependency here as we have added the gateway actuator, and now we require the Eureka discovery client also. The three dependencies we have added like gateway, actuator and Eureka discovery client, and the Spring Web as well. Now simply click on generate. See, within a minute production ready, application will be available there. Now we'll copy all the applications and simply paste into particular folder. In my local, I already created the folder here. We are just going to paste it there. In Microservice folder, I'm just trying to paste those all the projects. Yes. Now simply one by one we'll go ahead and extract it. Yes. Once it extracted, we'll simply go ahead and import this project into our IntelliJ IDEA. Simply come up with the file, new project from existing sources. This is our department service. We are just trying to import into IntelliJ. Go to the create, like trust project with this window. I want to open in same window. First we'll import all the projects here. Then coming to next is APIGateway. Simply right click there, go to the extract. Once extraction is done, we'll copy the path of our application and import this project into IntelliJ. See, we are just trying to import it into IntelliJ, coming with the file, new project from existing sources. Yes, this is our APIGateway. Here is it. Go to the OK. Again create trust project with new window. Now coming to next is EmployeeService. Simply right click, go ahead with the extract. Once extraction is done, then we'll copy the path of our application here and import this project into IntelliJ IDEA. Come up with the IntelliJ, file, new project from existing sources. This is EmployeeService. Trust project with new window. Now coming to next, this is our ServiceRegistry. Simply right click, go with the extract. Once extraction is done, then we'll copy the path of our application and simply import it into IntelliJ. Come up with the file, new project from existing sources. See, ServiceRegistry also imported here successfully. Then now first we'll start with the department service because this is the independent service. Then first come up with the pom.xml file, and we are adding here Swagger UI dependency. Here I am just adding the Swagger UI dependency. Use org.spring.. See, Swagger UI dependency is imported successfully. The version is 2.8.5. Coming to next, in SRC main resources, there I am just going to create the YAML file. Right click on resources, new file, and the file name as application.yaml. We are just giving here application.yaml. See, file also we have created successfully here. Then YAML content, I am just adding it from my local application. In your case, you can simply add it from our GitHub. I will add the GitHub URL also in YouTube video description box. Then this is department service, part of 9191 port number, and here we are giving database name as also department service DB. See, here is it. Now simply go ahead and build our application. Simply type mun clean space install. See, it will take some time. Then meanwhile we'll simply start with the skeleton. Simply right click on base package, new package I am creating there. And the package name I am giving here entity package. New package I am creating the package name as repository package. Come up with the next package, the package name as service package. Now come up with the next package, the package name as controller package. In your case, if you want to go to the exception validation, you can simply go and create it. I don't want to create more complexity, that's why I am just adding here 4 packages. Right click on entity package, new Java class, and the Java class name I am giving here department. Then coming to controller, new Java class I am creating here, this is department controller. Coming to repository, simply right click there, new Java, this will be interface name as department repository. Now come up with the service, new Java class I am creating here, department service, and see here our build also success. Once build is success, please reload your project. Once reload is done, we'll start with the implementation now. Then simply come up with the department.java. This is our Pojo class. I'm adding here @data. It means this is Lambo connotation. Replace with the getter, setter and toString. It will help us to reduce boilerplate code. Now using @all constructor. This is parameterized constructor. @no constructor, it means default constructor. @entity. If you are not using @table, it will consider your Pojo class name as a table name. And this is the entity class. Next I am using @table, and the table name mentioning here as a department. Using @id, it means this is primary key. @generated value, it means this will be auto increment, and this strategy we are just going to give as a identity. Then here I am using private. This will be int department have ID. Private string department have name. Private I am using string department have code. Just adding here 3 fields. In your case you can try to add number of fields, like date also you can add, like department start date. Now come up with the department repository. Annotate with the @repository. Then simply use here extends JPA repository. And here we are giving our Pojo class name is department, and corresponding wrapper class also we are passing as a integer. Now come up with the service layer. Annotate with @service. Then here we are using @auto void annotation, because we are not creating the object by using new keyword. Now simply use private. This will be department repository. And time being I am just going to add here 2 methods. In your case you can create number of methods as per business requirement. I am just writing the method public. This will be department. We are giving as a return type, and the method name as save. We are passing here entity for department. Simply to return department repository dot inbuilt method available there, save. We are passing entity as a department. Next public. Here I am using optional class. It will help us to avoid null pointer exception. Then department you can simply say find by ID. We are giving the input as integer type of department ID. Now simply to return, this will be department repo dot find by ID. ID as an input we are giving there. Then see, come up with the next. This is department controller here. Annotate with @rest controller. Now we are using here @request mapping, and here I am passing this is departments / departments. If you want to enable logger, you can simply go to the SLA4J as well. Now I am calling @void. This will be private department service. Now the API we are going to write here, this will be post mapping. You can simply say the API name itself, save. Public, this will be response entity, and the type of department. Simply say the method name as save, and we are passing here request body. It means we are going to pass the request payload from Saga app Postman API. Now simply to return, this will be response entity dot OK, and we are calling here department service dot save and giving entity as department. Then this is get mapping, and this get mapping, it means read the data. We are giving here find by ID and repeat ID as a input. Then public, this will be response entity. We are giving optional of department. See, optional is a Java class, comes in Java 8. It helps us to avoid null pointer exception. Then here you can simply say find by ID. @path variable I am passing as the input parameter here. See, I am just passing here @path variable as the input parameter, and this is integer type of department ID we are giving as a input. And once you are using path variable, it means this is mandatory. You need to pass as a requested URI parameter. Now simply to return here, this will be response entity dot OK department service dot find by ID, and ID as an input. See, such a way, like within 10 minutes we done with our entire, you can simply consider as a department service. and now we'll go ahead and test it. For that perspective, simply come up with the main class main method and simply start the application. See, we are very excited to test our first service as a department service. Simply come up with the localhost, and here the port number is, we are using 9191. See, this is our department service, and yes, it just goes to start. Once it started, yes, it started here, right? And the port number they are using 9191. Yes, if you want to check the port number, I will show you the port number as well. You can simply come up here. You will be able to see the port number is 9191. Perfect, and it started successfully, right? Yes, see, here it started. In log you will be able to see, and here Swagger up and running with the port number 9191. Then simply try with the save data. By using post, we are trying to save fresh data. Then department, I am just going to insert data for here HR department, and department code I am passing here HR99. Simply execute. It will insert data into database. See, inserted successfully, right? If you want to check in database, simply use the department service /star from department. There is available one record for HR department. We'll try to insert one more record here. I am just trying to insert for research and development department. Then we are passing here, this is research and development 99. Simply execute. Data inserted, right? Now you can simply try to find by its ID. I will pass it to, it will fetch data for research and development department. Perfect? Yes. Then such a way it's working as expected, this department service. Now we'll simply come up with the employee service. Then come up with the employee service. First thing, come up with the form.xml file, and here we are adding Swagger UI dependency org.spring.doc. See, Swagger UI dependency is added successfully, and this is the latest version we are using. Now we'll come up with the src main. We have available here resources, right? In that we are creating the YAML file. The file name is application.yaml. The pronunciation is YAML, but this spell you can pass YML, otherwise YAML. You have freedom to pass it. Then YAML content, I will add it from my existing application. For you, you can simply copy it from our GitHub. Okay. Yes, this is employee service and the port number is 9192. Then first we'll go ahead and build it. Give the clean space install. It will start with the build. Then meanwhile, we'll come up with the base package. Right click on com.fullstack, new package. The package name I'm giving here entity. Then coming to next package here, simply right click on base package, new package. I'm giving the package name as repository. Now come up with the next package, giving the package name as service. And again we are creating the new package name as controller. And here we need the one more package, the package name as Vivo. You can give any package, but I will recommend you can go to the Vivo. It means Vivo object. Now come up with the entity. In entity, I am creating new Java class name as employee. This is, you can simply say Pojo class we are going to create. In repository, I am creating new Java class as employee. This is interface employee repository. Come up with the service. Within service, we are creating new implementation class employee service. Now come up with the Vivo. In Vivo, we are creating new Java class as department. Why we have created the Vivo? Because we are trying to fetch data corresponding employee, whatever details available in the department, right? Then we required employee as well as department data. That's why we have created the Vivo package, and the Vivo package I am creating the class name as RestTemplate Vivo. Here you can simply say this is RestTemplate Vivo. Yes, this is like typo mistake, we need to correct it. RestTemplate Vivo we have given. You can give response Vivo as well. I am just giving here RestTemplate Vivo. Perfect. Then coming to controller, in that I am creating new Java class as this is employee controller. Now we start with the implementation. Then simply come up with the employee.java, annotate with @data at all arc constructor at nor constructor at entity @table, and we are giving table name as this is employee. And in employee table we are using primary key @id. This is, you can simply say, add to increment, and we are giving strategy as identity. Now we are passing here private int emp have id. Private, this will be string emp have name. Private double emp have salary. Private, I am passing here date as well. You can simply say date emp have dob. And here I am adding one more field like private, this will be string. You can simply say emp have address. And date perspective we are calling here JSON format. And the pattern we are just going to follow here. This is DDMMYYY. Perfect. And here corresponding employee we are going to persist data for data like address as well. That's why I'm passing here private int. This will be, you can simply say DEPT have ID. Like whenever we are trying to fetch data for employee, the corresponding department also we are trying to fetch it. Employee coming from which department, right? That's why we're passing here department ID as well. Then coming to next we have available view package. In department we are just using @ data $, constructor nor constructor. Then here whatever fields we have added within our department, same fields we are just going to add here as well in view package. There is only 3 fields available: ID, name and department code. Simply add those. Here we are not using any entity table annotation, fine, because this is just response perspective we have added. In RestTemplate view we are using @ data $, constructor nor constructor. And here I am passing, this is private employee. Next private department. It means we are trying to fetch data for employee as well as department. Then come up with the repository package, annotate with @ repository. Then here extends JPA repository. Interface extends. Then this is our Pojo class name as employee and the corresponding wrapper class as integer. And if you want to write any custom methods, you can write here. I am writing the one custom method here. This is employee. You can simply say find by emp id, and we are giving the input as integer type of emp id. This is just like custom method we have created. Start with find by. Okay. Now we'll come up with the service layer. Annotate with @ service. Then before going ahead with the service layer, we require the REST template in our main class as well. That's why coming to main class. Yes, here we are using @ bin annotation, and there we are going to follow the load balance as well. Then simply say this will be public REST template, and we are just going to return here new REST template. Then this session we are following the REST template, but upcoming sessions we are going to follow the fin client as well. Now again we'll come up with the service layer. Here is the service layer, and we are using @ void. This is private. You can simply say employee repository. Again we are using @ void. This is private REST template. Now first method we are writing here public. This will be employee. We are trying to save data. This is, you can simply say save. The entity we are passing for employee. Now simply to return, this will be employee repository dot save method available in build here. Next we are fetching data by ID, and we are passing here REST template view because we are trying to fetch data for employee corresponding department also. Then this is, you can simply say find by ID. Integer type of emp id we are giving as an input parameter. Now we are just creating the object of REST template view. Yes, and handling the compilation problem, I'm just going to return the REST template view. Now there is no any compilation problem, but we need to set data for here employee as well as department. Then employee perspective, we are getting data from employee repository. Employee equal to employee repository dot, there is custom method available that we have created like find by emp id and passing the input as emp id. Then once it fetch, then you can simply call REST template view dot set employee, and we are setting the here employee itself. Now we are trying to fetch data from department because we need to set the REST template view as a department also. For that perspective we are calling here department equal to, here our service actual call goes Then you can simply say RestTemplate dot get for object. This is the method available there. And now we are just going to call here, this is http:// then we are just going to pass here department service, and next we are calling here, this is departments, and here available there find by ID. Then you can simply use plus, this is employee dot get department ID, and the department dot class we are passing here. See, this is actual our service call goes, service communication. You can simply say here our employee service communicate with the department service by using REST template. This is very common ask into the question how the service call goes. You can simply say by using REST template dot get for object we are able to get data from department also. Perfect? Yes. Now simply come up with the next, and this is the last layer for coding wise employee controller. Annotate with @REST controller. Even we have set the data as well, right? We are just going to check it in employee service. See, well, we haven't set the data for department. Then you can simply say REST template view dot set department. This is mandatory, otherwise it never goes to set the data there, right? Yes. Here we have set the data for employee for this REST template view, and here we have set the data for department. Now we'll come up with the next controller layer, annotate with @REST controller. Next we are calling @request mapping, and the base URI I am passing here / as employees. Then use @auto private, this will be employee service. The API I am writing here, this is post mapping. We are trying to save data. Then this will be public response entity, and here we are trying to save data for employee. Simply give the method name as save, and we are passing here, this is the annotation @request body. It means we are going to pass the request payload for employee. Now simply to return, this will be response entity dot OK employee service dot save, and I am passing here employee as a input there. Next, get mapping. It means we are just trying to read the data. This is like find by ID as API I am giving here, and the input as EmployeeID. This will be public response entity, and we are passing here, this is REST template view. Simply say the method as find by ID. This is required parameter, that's why I am using here path variable. Integer type of EmployeeID we are giving as a input. Simply to return, this will be response entity dot OK employee service dot find by ID as an input there. Now simply save it. Then come up with the next is our Eureka server. For that perspective, simply come up with the pom.xml file. Here we have added the Eureka server dependency, right? Then simply go ahead and build it. But before building the application, we'll do some changes in resources like properties file. We are just adding here server.port. The port number we are giving here 8761. This is the default port, and if you don't want to show in Eureka server, right, this service registry, then simply we are going to hide it. For that perspective, we are using here 2 line of property tag, like this is Eureka client registered with Eureka false and Eureka client fetch registry with false. The next step, you can simply build the project mun clean space install. This is our service registry, okay, and once it builds success, then simply reload and start the application. Here we are using annotation @enable Eureka server. See, such a way like coding wise for service registry everything is done. Only one liner code we are adding here @enable Eureka server, and once build is success, we are just going to start our service registry. Oh, build is fail because of date dump issue. If such issues comes, you not need to worry about that. Simply come up with the toggle skip test mode. See my mouse pointer, click on that. Again, just click on here maven execute the maven build mun clean space install. 100% sure build goes to success. See one screen. Now our build goes to success within a minute. Perfect. The build is success. Once build is success, simply reload the project and start our application. And once application up and running, then you will be able to see the application goes to work on which port number 8761. simply hit here localhost 8761. This is like Eureka port we are using here. This is the service registry. Simply hit enter. You will be able to see Eureka goes to up and running on port number is 8761. For that perspective, we need to check here once it started, right? See, here it started and the port number is 8761. See, highlighted there. Here you will be able to see Eureka is up and running, right? See on screen. Perfect. See, Eureka is up and running. Now simply refresh it. Then next step, next we'll go ahead with the API gateway. Simply come up with the API gateway here, and API gateway perspective, first thing we'll come up with the form.xml file. Here we need to add like circuit breaker dependency as well circuit breaker resiliency. For that perspective, I will like help you for that. Instead of adding those dependency manually here, you can simply copy it from our existing application. You can simply copy it from our GitHub itself. Then in my case, I am just going to delete these properties and I will add it from my existing application. See, I have available those. Simply paste it here. See, we have added here those two dependency from circuit breaker. This is one, and this is circuit breaker resiliency 4J. For that perspective, we have use here this. You can simply say Spring Cloud as well, and again like this is you can simply consider as IO pivotal, right? We are using. Perfect. And rather than that, like Spring Boot version we are using latest one, even Java version also we are using 17 itself. Perfect. Coming to next is src main. In resources we are just going to create the YAML file. The file name is application.yaml, and the YAML content also I am just adding in local application. See, the port number we are expecting API gateway as 2025, and here we are using circuit breaker design patterns. If any service goes to down, we are handling here fault tolerance. It means fallback mechanism, like corresponding fallback URI it will be invoked, and accordingly like employee fallback it will be called there. Those API we are going to create. Then first thing, once you have done the changes, simply come up with the build, do mu1 clean space install. It will start with the build of our application. Meanwhile, simply come up with the base package com.fullstack, and the new package I am creating here, the package name as controller, and within controller package I am creating here new Java class as this is you can simply say fallback controller. Now simply annotate with @rest controller, and here itself, right, we are just going to add those fallback mechanisms. Then fallback mechanism perspective, the first fallback mechanism we are going to add for this employee service. Then simply come with the fallback controller here, and here I am writing public. This will be response entity, which is the type string, and simply say this is employee fallback. Method start with the lowercase, intermediate letter must be capital. We are following solid principle here. Now simply to return, this will be response entity.ok, and we are giving here employee service is down, please wait. Yes, and here we are using @get mapping also, and this is like fallback URI we are passing as a API employee fallback. Now coming to next we are going to add here for department fallback. This will be get mapping, you can simply say, and the fallback URI we have available here department fallback. If department service is down, we are just going to redirect to this is the API like department fallback. Simply say public, this will be response entity, it will be type of string, and here we are giving this is department fallback. Method start with the lowercase, and the intermediate letter we are giving as capital here. Now simply to return, this will be response entity dot ok, and we are giving here like department service is down, please wait. Perfect. Such a way we have done with the end-to-end coding, and now we are very excited to run our application, and almost within 45 minutes like we have done with the entire coding part, and now we are ready to start our application here. Then coming to main class, simply annotate with here @enable eureka @enable discovery client here. Like this is the instance you can simply consider. Fine. Yes. Now simply start the application. Then we'll come up with the employee service as well. We are just going to start our employee service also. Simply start the employee service here. But before starting it, right, simply reload the project. Okay, always be careful. Now we are just going to start our employee service as well. And once all services started there, right, like our department service is up and running. If you are going to check here, this is already up and running, right? Yes. Now if you are coming with the service registry, it's up and running. And again we are just checking here our employee service. Okay, it's taking some time, we need to wait for that. Again APIGateway also up and running, and if you are checking the APIGateway, this is the part of 2025. Now we are just waiting to see up and running which service, employee service, and here is it, like employee service also up and running. You will be able to see the port number available there, like 9192. Yes, here is it, and they started with the employee service application as well. Perfect, that's what we are expecting. Like without any issues we are able to see all the services up and running here. And the services we are expecting it will go to register with our Eureka server. See, APIGateway available here up and running, the port number is 2025, and the department service, it's up and running, the port number is 9191, and the employee service also up and running, the port number is 9192. See one screen. Perfect. Once it up and running, the next we'll go ahead and test it. Then already department service is independent service, we have saved the data as well, right? Again if you want to hit it, simply try to test the APIs, it will fetch the data there. Perfect. Now we'll start with the testing of our employee service. I'm just passing here, this is 9192. Execute it. See, it's up and running. This Swagger also working as expected. Just try it out. The ID, this is auto increment. Employee name I am passing here Sora, and the salary here I am passing, this is 97,000.96. The employee address I am passing here, this is Pune, India, and the date of birth I am just passing here date of birth as 09/09/2020, and the department ID I am passing here 1. See, it will go to insert data into like employee. If you want to check it, you can simply come up with the use employee service DB, and see here is data available for Sora. Perfect. And Sora coming from which department? Department ID is 1. That's what we are expecting. One more record I am just going to add here, the record for Lakshmi. Lakshmi salary I am adding here 99,000, and Lakshmi from Mumbai, India. Now we are just giving here, this is the date of birth 11/11/2000. This is the date of birth. Lakshmi coming from department ID as 2. Execute. See, data inserted successfully. Then one more record I am trying to insert here. The record I am inserting here for, you can simply say Puja, and the Puja salary I am passing here 92,000.96. Puja from PCMC, India, and the date of birth we are giving here 09/11/2000, and Puja coming from 101 department. We don't have such a department available. Okay, it will fetch data null whenever you are going to retrieve the data. Perfect, it's working as expected. Now come up with the get mapping. Just try it out. Just we are trying to fetch data for first employee like Sora. See on screen. Data also coming here without any issues, because we follow all the solid principle, right? Perfect. If you are trying to fetch data for second number employee, data will fetch for Lakshmi. See on screen. If you are trying to fetch data for third number employee, like we have Puja, right? The department ID there is not available. That's why it's fetching data as a null, because we are using optional class. It will help us to avoid null pointer exception. Perfect. Now come up with the next. Next we are trying to test such API by using Postman API, and we are using their APIGateway. For that perspective, we'll copy this URL, requested URL. You can simply copy it, coming with the here, and simply pass here. This is third number record we are trying to fetch. Data it will fetch here, right? Yes. Now I'm just trying to fetch data for Sora, but we are passing here APIGateway port number as 2025. Simply send it. We are hitting the request. We are expecting data it will fetch for Sora. Again, if you are passing 2, it will fetch data for second number employee. See on screen. Again, if you want to save data by using APIGateway, that also possible. Simply come with the post, and we are just going to pass here API URL. Then this API URL, either you can type it manually, otherwise just copy from here, because already URL available here, right? I will save my time. I'm just going to copy paste here. Okay, I hope there is authorization. Oh, that's great. We don't have any authorization here. Fine. Yes. Now we are just passing the requested payroll as well. Payload you can simply say, and here I am passing for Darshan. See, Darshan salary we are giving here 90,000. Darshan we are giving here, this is like NCR India, and we are passing here, this is, you can simply say 07, and department like we are passing here second number department. Fine, simply go ahead and execute it. Now we are expecting data goes to insert into employee table for Darshan, fourth number record, right? Yes. Now we are passing here 2025, it means API gateway, and again I am trying to insert one more record here. For this record I am just passing here Rajesh as a employee. We are giving the salary as 94,000. This is again I am passing Pune, India, and the date of birth we are passing 07 here, and Rajesh from first department, it means HR. But here if you are going to observe, I am passing 2025, it means API gateway. Again it will insert data in database. If you want to check data in database, see one screen. Now there is available 5 records, right? 1 2 3 4 5. Perfect. Then now what we are expecting, we are just trying to fetch data here. Then simply come up with the gate, and again I am passing it 2025. I am trying to fetch data for fifth number record. See, data is coming here. Such a way, like we have done with the entire development for microservice application. I don't want to create this session more complex. You can simply say this is like just we have started our basic application. Then upcoming sessions definitely will go ahead with the deep dive into microservices. But till if you are facing any difficulties, feel free to add your comments in comment box. Definitely I will be available here to help you for that. Okay, yes. And microservice, it's very easy topic, it's not the complex. Whatever like we learn here, we have implemented, right? I will add those parts on GitHub. I will add it now only. You will get the more clarity for that. Okay, yes. Now I am just coming to GitHub account. This is our official account here for full stack Java developer. Whatever I am adding on GitHub, you can use, you can implement for your learning perspective. This is open source for you all. Here I am giving the repository name as, you can simply say RestTemplate Microservices. Now this is public repo. I want to go the example Spring Boot with microservices using RestTemplate for service communication. Add a readme file. Just create the repo. Our repo is created successfully. Once repo is created, we'll clone it in local. Simply copy and we'll come up with the local. Here is the local folder. I'm using here git repo and trying to clone in local. Just type cmd. Just use git clone. Paste the URL there. It's cloned successfully. We are using cd tab button and it will come up with the folder. Now within that folder I am just trying to add some like our projects. Then first we'll add the employee service. Simply copy the employee service and we are just going to add here itself, right? Yeah. For that we'll do one thing. Come up with our repository. Here is git repo. Copy the employee service. Next I am going to copy here DepartmentService. Next we'll copy like APIGateway. Next we'll copy the ServiceRegistry. Perfect. We have copied all the code base, and in readme file also I want to add some theory part there actually. Like whatever we have implemented, everything like will be available on centralized repository. Then here I am just trying to push those code changes on centralized repo. Simply come back to here, git add dot, it will add all the files, git commit -m. This is my initial commit for microservice application, and this is we have started with the very basics. This is just like initial commit, we are giving the message, and then use git push. Once we use git push, like code changes will be pushed on centralized repository. See one screen. See all code changes available on centralized repository. You can feel free to use those code for your references. Fine. Even I added here theory as well. If you are coming with the like employee service, you will be able to see all the code base available there. See on screen. SRC main, Java, full stack, right? Just come up with the controller. See, here is the available employee controller, right? What we have created. Perfect. Great. Now I want to explain some more like this application corresponding. We have available here design patterns as Saga design pattern. Saga design pattern, it means service per DB. Each service we have available in your database. Like best example I am giving department service. We have available database name as department service DB. If you are checking with the employee service, we have available database name as, you can simply say employee service DB. It means service per DB. Each service we have available in your database. That's called Saga design patterns. Upcoming sessions I will take care deep dive into Saga as well. Now we'll come up with the next. Next we have available here circuit breaker pattern. There are 3 states available. You can simply consider here. We have 3 states available like close, open and half open. Then see, close, it means you can simply say application is working as expected. Now this is close status. It means application working as expected. Now I will show you here. Suppose if you are going to down the employee service, right? Then see, it will give us employee service is down. If you are checking here, see, employee service is down. This is the message is coming. Perfect. It means this is open state. And again, if you are going to start the employee service here, right? It will goes to half open immediately. See, till it's showing employee service is down, please wait. I am giving the best example in India. If you are using PhonePe, and suppose PhonePe, like they don't have the bank, right? You are using PhonePe, but your account in ICICI Bank, and your friends they are using suppose HDFC Bank. Like amount is debited from your account, from your ICICI Bank using PhonePe, but it's not credited to your friend's account because they are using HDFC, and HDFC service is down temporarily time. Then definitely the application never goes to crash. It's just saying like receiver bank server is down. That time such a message is coming, right? Yes. And once it's working, then it will mark as a close. See, now till it's showing employee service is down, please wait. Again I am hitting the request. Employee service is down, please wait. We are just checking employee is working or not. But before that you can simply check employee service status in Eureka, because we have available server. It's showing employee service up and running. The port number is 9192. Again hit the API, it will goes to work as expected. See one screen. Here it's giving the data, right? Same for department service. You can simply come up with department service, simply down it, and again you can simply try to test the APIs. Suppose I am passing the departments, and here we are trying to fetch data for second department. See one screen. It just print like department service is down, please wait. It means we have implemented the fallback mechanism here. If you are checking, see in application.yaml file in APIGateway, we have implemented which mechanism? Fallback mechanism. See, now department fallback goes to call. It means this is fault tolerance issue comes. That time we have implemented the fallback controller, right? Then it goes to department fallback and printing the message like department service is down, please wait. Again I am hitting, it's just showing department service is down, please wait. And we'll come up with the department service and start it. Now what we are expecting, it will goes to half open, and once it's working, it will goes to mark as close. And if any service is down, the service status as you can simply say open status. Now this is half open. But before that you can simply check the service is up and running or not in Eureka server. See, till the service is down only, we need to wait to get it up and running. For that you can simply check here also. Yeah, it started, right? Then we'll come back to here, simply refresh. See, the department service is up and the running on port number is 9191. Now again hitting the request, we are expecting the data there. Just hit the request. See, this is a half open status here actually. We are just hitting the request, right? Yes, data is coming. See on screen. Perfect. Like such a way, like we done with end-to-end hands-on for our Spring Boot with microservices and we have created here like basic level department service, employee service, the service registry as a Eureka server, service communication REST template, and the API gateway as a single entry point we have available, and we have implemented here Saga design pattern and circuit breaker pattern, and there are 3 states available: close, open, and half open. Then definitely upcoming sessions will go ahead with the deep dive into advanced level microservices. Then you will get more clarity. In this session I haven't implemented the advanced level, but stay tuned with our full stack Java developer YouTube channel. You will get lot of learning curve in this channel actually. Okay, then definitely I will try to cover up upcoming sessions full stack applications as well as soon as possible, like Spring Boot with the React.js. Then thanks for watching this video. Please do like, share, subscribe this channel to get more updates, and see you in next video.